as you get older,
Yep.
you have to look at things in a different way.
I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro.
Step out.
Can I move my phone?
Step out.
Unlock all kind of strip clubs in Omaha. We don't know. This is musty. This is disgusting at the highest level.
Floyd Mayweather has just thrown another sharp jab at Terence Crawford following his recent traffic incident, and it was brutal. Commenting on Crawford's wild celebration after beating Canelo Alvarez, Mayweather scoffed at the Omaha native's behavior. If a win over Canelo makes Crawford act like he runs boxing, what would happen if he had beaten better fighters like Manny? Mayweather asked. He argued that every fighter should know his limits. And in Floyd's eyes, Crawford's excitement over something Mayweather himself once handled with ease only proves he's not on the same level.
Check yourself. Another point. Floyd Mayweather, he don't carry no gun. Floyd don't carry gun.
Mayweather's criticism didn't stop at boxing. He also pointed to Crawford's offering troubles, highlighting the fighter's latest run-in with Omaha police. Floyd called it unfortunate and embarrassing, adding that instead of making headlines for the wrong reasons, Crawford should have been at home with his family, celebrating his historic win.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd, and I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who would win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd would win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess man. Yeah, his IQ in that situation.
The headlines Floyd referred to began forming early that morning in downtown Omaha. Just hours earlier, the city had staged a massive parade to honor Crawford's victory over Canelo. Crawford was the centerpiece of the celebration, fresh off one of the biggest wins of his career. But by night's end, the story had flipped entirely. According to Omaha police, just before 1:30 a.m., officers noticed a vehicle driving recklessly near North 12th Street and Capitol Avenue. They pulled it over on Cass Street. Inside were 4 people, including Crawford himself and his head of security, Qasim Shabazz.
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro.
Step out.
Can I move my phone?
Love Crawford being harassed by cops and pulled over by the cops right after the parade. This is diabolical.
Later that day, police issued a statement explaining their version of events. While speaking to the driver, an officer allegedly spotted a loaded weapon on the driver's side floorboard. For safety, all 4 passengers were ordered out at gunpoint. Once IDs were checked, the driver was confirmed to be Terence Crawford. He was cited for reckless driving. The statement also clarified the firearm issue. One passenger, a member of Crawford's security team, was legally carrying a gun. Police stressed that all 4 occupants were permitted to carry weapons under the law.
Once they had stopped, Crawford was identified as the driver. According to police, officers observed a firearm on the floorboard on the driver's side. All 4 people, including members of Crawford's security team, were ordered out of the vehicle at gunpoint. I spoke with the head of Crawford's security this afternoon, who says he's still shaken up.
For fans, it was a jarring shift. Hours after celebrating their champion in a parade, they now saw images of him in handcuffs on Cass Street. Many expressed frustration, saying the night had been stolen from what should have been a moment of pride for Omaha. Others criticized Crawford directly, blaming him for reckless driving and poor judgment. Local station KETV quoted an officer who claimed the gun was spotted when Crawford leaned down to grab his documents, including his license and registration.
Bro, I got a crazy clip to show you guys right now. But isn't that a policeman holding a gun to the 3-time undisputed world champ Terence Bud Crawford's head? What did he do that was so bad that you had to pull him over?
So, what triggered the escalation? According to the officer, when Crawford leaned forward, a firearm became visible by his feet. That sighting prompted the decision to order everyone out of the car at gunpoint. All 4 were handcuffed until the situation was clarified. During the stop, Crawford was heard insisting that he wasn't reaching for the weapon, raising his hands to show cooperation.
That was a nightmare. You know, future husband, just had a brand new child and, you know, children and, you know, and stuff like that. And to know that I almost lost my life last night because we had a police officer that don't know how to articulate a traffic stop.
That point was later reinforced by his security chief, Qasim Shabazz, who gave a very different account. He outright denied that Crawford reached for any documents, claiming Crawford had already told the officer his license and registration were at home. According to Shabazz, there was no reason for him to lean forward at all. He added that both he and Crawford disclosed their firearms at the very start of the stop, as required by Nebraska law. Still, the encounter spiraled. Bud said, "I have a firearm too," and the cop just went ballistic, shouting, "Hands up! Get out, don't reach," Shabazz recalled. "Everyone thought we were going to die, man."
I'm not reaching for no gun, bro. Can I move my... You telling me the police at Omaha don't know who Terence Crawford is? Putting a gun in his face? Ridiculous.
Shabazz also pushed back on the reckless driving allegation. He claimed Crawford asked whether radar was used to clock his speed. According to Shabazz, the officer admitted there was no radar. "Well, how do you know I was speeding then?" Crawford asked. Shabazz said he even recorded the exchange, catching the officer on camera admitting, "I cannot. I don't have radar."
In Omaha, after receiving the keys to the city? Huh? Hey, yo, that cop gotta be some hater, bro. Hey, yo, that's like the NYPD holding Derek Jeter on gunpoint and arresting him after the Yankee championship parade in New York City, bro. It doesn't make sense. It wouldn't even happen, bro. It wouldn't even happen. So this cop gotta be some hater.
This contradiction between the official report and Shabazz's account has only fueled debate. Crawford's supporters point to Shabazz's claims as proof the stop was mishandled, while others argue reckless driving doesn't always require radar. Shabazz described the stop as tense and frightening, with all 4 passengers cuffed despite cooperating. At Crawford's request, a police supervisor and lieutenant arrived to oversee the situation before the citation was finalized.
I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with.
By that time, however, videos of the incident were already spreading online. Fans debated whether police had overreacted or whether Crawford put himself in a bad spot. Some saw the night as a blemish on what should have been Omaha's proudest weekend. Others echoed Mayweather's criticism, saying a fighter of Crawford's stature should never end up in such a situation. Omaha Police Chief Todd Schmatterer quickly responded, ordering an internal affairs investigation into whether procedures were followed when the firearm was spotted and when the decision was made to order everyone out at gunpoint.
They come with guns.
Wow, he had his gun drawn. Here's what TMZ wrote. Terence Crawford ordered out of the car by a cop holding a gun on a video. It says Terence Crawford was forced out of a car at gunpoint by police officers with tense exchange caught on video, and it's leading to an internal investigation.
For now, the only official charge against Crawford is reckless driving. Police confirmed that all firearms were legal and no additional charges would follow. Still, the contrast was striking. Daytime parades of celebration, followed by late-night headlines of their hero pulled from a car at gunpoint. On social media, some fans called it the wildest 24 hours for a hometown hero. Others accused police of targeting Crawford, while critics argued he should have avoided driving so late in the first place.
Investigation, but the damage is already done, my guy. The damage is already done. I'll be surprised if Terence Bud Crawford comes back to the city just disrespectful to the face of boxing. Not saying that the man's above the law, but Lord child, what was y'all doing, gunpoint?
Mayweather has only added fuel to the fire, framing the incident as proof of what separates their careers. For Floyd, legacy isn't just built in the ring, it's also about choices made under the spotlight. In his eyes, Crawford tarnished his own celebration by ending the night in handcuffs.
Mayweather, I thought, took on some pretty tough 154-pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 4 to 54, you know? Remember, Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54.
Crawford's camp, meanwhile, has gone silent. His spokeswoman issued only a brief statement saying he had no comment. Beyond that, neither he nor his team have addressed the citation, the police report, or Shabazz's version of events. With internal affairs still investigating, the citation remains. Even so, the boxing world hasn't stayed quiet. Analysts, legends, and promoters all have their own takes on the matter.
I don't go off of that. You know, Floyd is the best fighter, you know, in his era, and I feel like I'm the best fighter in my era.